Hey family, welcome back to Surcraft, where guys, today we're going to be doing a very chill, very enjoyable world tour of my 107 episode series known as Surcraft. And this is where we spawned. Okay, I misspoke. 107 episodes of the series, but 100 episodes in this seed. I actually died in episode 7 on my original seed. So this is the view, guys, of basically spawn. Like, this is where I spawned in. I don't remember which I was facing necessarily. I think I was facing the ocean whenever I spawned in. And this is the very first thing that we saw. Dirt, water, trees, that was it. But upon turning and seeing the village, I remember that moment vividly, seeing the village and thinking, oh my goodness, this is like the most lucky hardcore series spawn ever. Because, I mean, you find a village, you have a place to live. And so coming in, finding that there is a village here was just the best. And this is the first house that I had. Now, Adam and Eve are in here, our original mushrooms. But yeah, this is where I lived. This is where my first crafting table and furnace was, and a couple of double chests. And this is where we were. Now, with this world tour, I haven't planned anything. It's not super coordinated. I just wanted to give you guys a tour of what we've been able to accomplish in this world. And then if you're interested, there will be a link in the description for a world download. You guys can download the world and walk around in it yourself in your own game. Now, heads up, I do have some mods installed, so it shouldn't mess with your ability to like walk around everything. This is all vanilla. But if it asks you or anything, just say yes, or, you know, click through it. It'll be okay. So anyway, our first house. This was great. Now, this house was my second house. Did I just hear? I feel like I probably just heard the cow. I thought I heard a pillager. I was about to say, I thought I got rid of all you guys. But yeah, so this was my second house. I think I built this after I built several farms. So we'll come right back to it. Again, I didn't memorize everything that I did in what order, but all the different farms that I built. I remember the very first thing that I did was I built this farm. This was actually the original wheat farm, and it is the typical, I think it's 9x9, something like that. And so this is kind of where it all began right here, guys. Pretty awesome. Remember, the village looked the exact same that it did when I started this series for like 80 or 90 episodes. It just recently looks as nice as it does because I decided to make it look nice before the finale. But yeah, this farm was put down in here, and then very, very shortly thereafter, I put in all these cows. And of course, they've been in this pen for a long time. I've also had some villagers stuck in the pens too. They jump over and then they jump in, and then they're not smart enough to jump back. So I've had cows in here for a long time, and they have provided me with plenty of beef and steak and such, which has been fantastic. Later on, I managed to put this little chicken farm together. And of course, it's not the most efficient thing, but it has served its purpose well in keeping me from dying. So we're grateful to the chickens. Thank you guys. Y'all have been so good. Y'all have been so wonderful. Much later, I added on the second pen and put sheep in there, but I didn't keep them in there. Obviously, they're not in there anymore, because we moved on and added all of this. Now, as you can see, some of the sheep are not being sheared. That's because the shears have actually fell apart. Like, there's no more shears in there. But I've got more than enough of every color of wool that I'm not worried about it. I've got plenty of wool, and it's forever. I think I'm almost at a white because I built my mansion out of the white wool. But yeah, this is every type of color of wool. And building this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the concept of putting it together. Stop following me around, villager. I really appreciated the doorway. I think it turned out really nice. This was a much later build, I think, like middle of the series, something like that. Earlier in the series, actually, I put together the sugarcane farm because I knew having sugarcane in an abundance would be really, really good. For some reason, this thing has stopped moving. It's weird. Maybe, is it going to bounce back now? Yep, it should take off now. Yeah, probably a villager got in its way and it slowed itself down. But yeah, so sugarcane farm, very basic build, has gotten me quite a bit of sugarcane, which has been great. Yeah, see, it's the stupid villager's fault slowing down my minecarts. And then we put together this kelp farm, and it didn't serve a whole lot of purpose, but, you know, it gave us some dried kelp, which was always good. I'm going to go ahead and get that to smelting, but I only built the very, very smallest version of this. There's much, much bigger versions. And then I decided to feed in an automatic fuel for smelting all this stuff by using bamboo. And this is kind of like the far-reaching end of the south side of my compound. Now remember, I did spend some episodes lighting up the entire area. This is I don't remember how many, I calculated how many like square miles it was or whatever, but this whole place should be completely spawn proof. You guys will find out if you decide to download the world map. This building over here was always interesting to me because it's like way off on its own. And I believe that the original cleric lived here because there was a spell, what is it called? I don't know. The cleric lived there. And I think now he lives in the church, which I built much, much later. Continuing with the tour, the last real farm that I built, well, not the last one, there's a couple more, was this melon farm. And of course, now it's probably not working all that well. Okay, it's working great because there's a stinking mushroom and a stinking villager stuck in here. I'm not going to bother helping them out. They got themselves in, they got to get themselves out. But the way this thing is built is very, very simple. There are much better designs, but I just like the way this one looks and the way it turned out good. So, as far as mines are concerned, before I go and check out the other farms, I got to remember I'm not wearing any armor, by the way. I'm back to basics here. My first mine was dug down here, and do I need to give you guys a tour of the mines? You guys saw the mines. You guys understand the mines. The mines are built. I strip mined the heck out of this place, and also built a bit of a tunnel over to my iron farm, which is over there, and we'll go check it out here in a little bit. I might want to get elytra for that, but there's really not a lot of builds that are far away. Like we got the iron farm over there, which I will show you, and then we also have the gunpowder farm, which is way up there, and that served me very, very well as soon as I had elytra. I'm very grateful for that. So back to the house. Now we built this house, I don't remember exactly when or what episode it was, but it was originally meant to be where I did all of my work, and I did that. And this was very, very useful and enjoyable. I had, storage of all kinds. I had my smeltery, which I've got crazy amounts of charcoal. I had more stuff around here that I've eventually moved out from here into my other house. I've left a few things. I've even got some coal stuck in this blast furnace. This worked out great until I decided to bring in some villagers. And as you can see, they like to come in here. And I had an iron golem spawn inside my room. So yeah, I mean, it's not the most ideal situation, but I didn't have villagers for a very, very long time. I love this map, by the way. I have not revealed the location of, actually, what is this? That's the library. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I have not revealed the location yet on this map of my mansion, but my mansion is taking up a very large portion of area right there. But yeah, this was kind of like home base. I got like extra diamonds and emeralds and totems of undying and stuff like this all here. And then of course we have our enchanted books and stuff like that too. This was home base for a very, very long time. In fact, this is the banner that shows on the observatory, which we'll go look at later, where it shows this is called Klaustopia, this location here. So anyway, this was my house for a very, very long time until the end of the series where I decided to build my mansion and move out to the country. And now it's kind of serves as a city center for the villagers. So a lot of them work here, and this is where the trade takes place, and it's just a good place. So moving on, most of the village did not change much at all. I cleaned it up again, like I said, recently, but I mean, the village really didn't change much. I never changed any of the buildings. I think I adjusted this one. I got rid of like the little yard that kind of spawned up here. And as you can see, my farmer is coming to go sleep, but we got plenty of beds everywhere, so everyone can sleep wherever they want to. But this was, I think, the last farm, the actual farm that I built, and it's a carrot farm. And so the two villagers, there's one farmer and another farmer. They live inside of here. They collect and harvest the carrots. They try to throw it to this farmer, and this hopper minecart catches it, and it ends up in this chest. And then, of course, I grab it, and I trade with this farmer and get crazy amounts of emeralds. I've also got this crafting table here for the melons that I do get from my melon farm, so that's nice. Ooh, my lights came on, and ooh, there's a hole down there. I might want to fill that up with some dirt. I don't have any on me right now, though. But yeah, so this was like my last farm, and I like the way this one actually worked because, and here's some beds, and if they could see the beds, then they breed, and they make loads and loads of babies. And that's what kind of provided all of the villagers in this village. And all I have to do to make that happen is smack that button, go through here, and then get rid of these 2 wood planks, and they can see the beds, but they can't get to them. And then they begin to breed again. It's an on and off switch. So that was kind of like the last farm. And it served as, really what I wanted to do with it was bring some life to the village, which I did by adding in a whole bunch of villagers and mushrooms and regular cows and sheep and all that stuff. And it turned out really nice. As far as, now I'm kind of avoiding the church because I built that pretty late. As far as other builds are concerned, I mean, obviously I had things like this, you know, my tool table or whatever. Definitely sold this guy a fair share of iron. That came in handy. But this building here, this one was a pretty major build. This is the library. I never did make an appropriate library with books and everything around. I kind of figured this served the purpose fine. But like, this guy has mending and this guy has unbreaking. And I never even labeled them because I kind of memorized sort of where everything is. But this is how I maxed out all of my armor and everything. And unfortunately, they can't roam around freely like the rest of the villagers. But I kind of need them in place whenever I actually need to talk to them. So like here's flame. I think I've got, yeah, thorns. Thorns came later, and fire aspect came later as well. So here's the back door through here. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the like early to mid builds in this series. I obviously did a lot of other things. I went to the Woodland Mansion, which I'm not going to go to. You guys have seen Woodland Mansions. I went there and died. That's where my hardcore series ended, and it turned into just a typical survival series. I also went to the Nether, obviously, and didn't do a whole lot in the Nether. I just went and got resources and destroyed a bunch of creatures. So there's my Nether portal up there, very, very close to spawn, which I thought was kind of cool. And then we also went to the end many, many times and I actually built some cool stuff in the end, which you guys will have to go check it out. The dungeon is over there. Download the world map and go check it out. As far as the church is concerned, this was kind of like my first attempt at building something that wasn't quite my plan in a video. And I think it turned out really, really great. It's quaint, it's simple, but it's still grandiose. Like, it's pretty tall. There's my chandelier, by the way. You guys never saw it in a video. I don't think I ever saw it or showed it until today. So there's the chandelier, the missing chandelier from the Church of Klaus. But yeah, this is the church. It turned out really great. It's got multiple levels, so you can go up, and here's one level, and this is the balcony. So you can get up here and you can listen to the cleric do his preaching if, you know, you don't have enough or not enough seats. And then of course you have the bell tower. This Fletcher decides he loves it up here, so he hangs out here all the time. It's a great view, by the way. I love how it kind of shows off the place. So yeah, this is the Church of Klaus, and it turned out great. Now, a lot of people said I should put slabs up here. I always thought about doing it, but I never actually did it. But I would have given a little more headroom. It would have felt a little more natural. As far as other builds, I mean, like, one of the earliest builds was the wall, and I built a wall completely around my entire property, which I claimed. Again, it's all spawn proof. I've put down hundreds, maybe thousands of torches. And so the wall out here is actually a really big part of what made me safe, I feel like, because I had to have a border somewhere. So you can see the mobs over there. It's only a, you know, 2-high wall, but you can't jump over that, right? And so by building the wall all the way around, it goes up the hill, it goes around, and then it enters into the ocean. And this same thing, it goes all the way down and enters the ocean. It gives me this big, nice square area to play in. And I mean, obviously I didn't use all of the land, but I like open spaces. I am from Texas I'm from the country, right? That's what we do. But the other thing I wanted to show you, and probably the most epic of builds really in this entire series, and it did take me a very, very long time, was the treehouse series or set. I have to be very careful up here because I do not have elytra. I do not have feather falling. But we built, what was it, like 33, something like that, of these tree houses on top of these giant jungle trees along the border of my land. And each one has a campfire, and, you know, it funnels up. It's got the hay bale underneath. And it was fun. I estimate this one was thousands of blocks of wood to build. And it's all made out of spruce trees, I believe. And it's spawn proof, so you can be up here all you want, and you don't have to worry about it. And of course, if you go all the way to the end, then you get a really nice view of the ocean, but it's pretty far, so I'm not going to go all the way down that direction. But you can see there's a massive difference between this side and this side. This side's nice and pretty and bright and beautiful. This side is dark and sad and dank and not so fun. So this was kind of like my, I don't know, my attempt at the watchtowers that surround a castle, except more savannah village-esque. You know, you don't want to do something that doesn't really match the environment, and I think this matches fairly well. I mean, obviously you don't have giant jungle trees in savannas, but you know, I had to do something. Savanna trees wouldn't have worked. So we'll go check that out. I think the sun should be setting, the sun should be rising here soon, and it'll be safe to go that direction, especially once again because I've got no armor. Also, I have a couple of villagers up here, I think on that side, way over there, that are working as guards. And of course, my plan was always to like breed them and have like 30 of them up there, but I decided that wasn't worth it. So, yeah, the wall, big deal, very, very big deal. And it's definitely something I'm interested in hearing you guys' feedback on if you guys decide to download the world map and play for yourself. Like, how cool does it feel to you, given that you're not used to it? Now, here is the observatory. This is where our maps go, and I've, of course, spent a lot of episodes going around and naming locations. We have, like, let me back up, naming locations like the different cities. There's Klaustopia, different cities like El Paso, Denver, Phoenix, etc., Sacramento. Hallelujah Mountains, another really, really cool location. And then Death Valley, another super cool location. I so wish that I could build on those locations. I guess I could, but it wouldn't obviously be part of this series. It'd be a different series. Atlantis, really cool spot. Actually, Crescent City, my dungeon access was down there. That's where I get to the end, way down there. So yeah, that's the observatory, and then this is the zoomed out version. Or I guess technically this is the zoomed in version, the blown out version. And on this map, I actually have revealed my mansion, which we'll go check out here shortly. So yeah, guys, this is the observatory. I always kind of dreamed of having like that camera lens view where it's like, you know, you walk in and you could see it, and then you walk out and it kind of flares out and you could see even more of it. Some really good ideas in the comments were to put it in the floor under glass. That would have been cool too, but I just like this concept a little bit better. So I think that does it for the village, except for my mansion. If I missed some stuff, I apologize. And again, of course, I'm not like traveling to show you guys everything that I built out of like the iron farm. You know, you could see it, right? I don't need to go over there. I'm not going to go over there. You guys have seen it. If you didn't see it, go check out the video. But I know that's not the point of a world tour. But okay, so let me back up real quick, because I'm about to be in the... Yeah, I'm about to be in the range of my beacon. So now I can travel much, much quicker. You can see my hearts are moving because I'm in restoration. So this used to be just a valley, and we turned it into the Klaus Manor. We got our fancy brick, a fence, and really nice entrance. It's a really big place. And here's my beacon. We got this last episode in the finale. This thing required 8 blocks of diamond, 8 blocks of emerald, 16 blocks of gold, and like 100 and something, 132 blocks of iron, something like that. Which again, I have no problem with gold or iron because I have my iron farm. You guys want to go see the iron farm? I'll show it to you real quick here. I will show you the iron farm, because now that the sun has gone up, I'm not feeling quite as scared to go through my wall entrance. And also there's some stuff to show you guys that's underneath, and that was actually a very, very important part of the beginning of my entire playthrough was actually the iron farm, obviously, but the zombie farm, like the zombie spawner. Hopefully the creepers and stuff have despawned. Creepers don't die in the sun. It's something that I always forget about, and it catches me off guard every time. But yeah, here we are. So the iron farm. So basically it has how many villagers? 4 villagers with a zombie that is named, so he won't despawn. And the first time I came over here, by the way, was on minecarts. So, and that's actually how I got my villagers up there. But I don't really have access to it. I don't think the path to get up there is there anymore. I don't really want to run up there anyway, but I just want to get to the foot of it and explain it. So you get the villagers, you get the scared, you get the zombie. They're there. That's what they do. I do have the access to get up there, but it's going to take too long. And the scared villagers will spawn iron golems, and the iron golem will fall through because there's a water that's flowing in this direction. It'll fall through here, down to that lava. And the iron golem dies in the lava. You get crazy amounts of iron, and it's awesome. So I'm gonna actually drop through here. I'm shift clicking here. I don't have water breathing, so I'm a little worried. There we go. Okay. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Okay. Yeah, so loads of iron. I used a lot of it for the beacon, but this is where the iron kind of falls in. There you go. There's an iron golem, and you should see that number going up. Awesome. So we get to see the iron farm working. Now, there is a zombie spawner through here, and we set up a zombie killing zone here. And they stand here, we kill them, and all their stuff ends up here. I've got loads of rotten flesh, and also a way to grab like their armor and their, let me see, where's their swords and stuff? Yeah, like their golden chest plate. I can grab this, I can throw it into here, and it'll smelt it down for the gold nuggets. You should see it go from 53 to 54 here shortly. Or not. Oh, okay, it was there. They're 54, there you go. So, yeah, and this is all the leather and chainmail stuff. You can't smelt this down, so I just kind of sorted it away. And this was a major part of the series, to be honest with you, because it gave me experience points in an unlimited fashion, something that I hadn't experienced in a hardcore series before. So this was really helpful. And then, of course, this is connected to our mine, but it is, I don't have a mine card over here. Here's a furnace. I actually smelted up some stone recently. And then, of course, this little water elevator is going to take me back to this little, like, hub. I actually slept here a bunch of times. And then we're back up to the surface, and you can see that beacon from a distance. It's super cool. I always loved how this looks from a distance. I just think it turned out so good. I'm so pleased with how it turned out. So, I'm gonna run back, give you guys the tour of the mansion, and then I think that's it. I mean, like, okay, so one little side note over here, I'm not sure where, is where I got all of my lava and obsidian. There's like a little lava pit right underneath the surface. I think it's right there, I think, something like that. That was a major part too, because I needed lots of obsidian to like make nether portals and stuff. And again, I'm not gonna go to the nether, I'm not gonna go to the end. I'm just showing you guys the tour of the village and all the things that we've built here. So, let's go check out the mansion, which was the final build. Big fan of the mansion. It turned out great. It's one of those builds that's so big that I could have been busy with it forever, for hours, for years. But I decided to end it there, right? I decided to build it. I put a few decorations in there, but I didn't go too crazy and decided to leave it pretty Spartan. Now, the gate turned out awesome. I love the hanging lanterns. I love the lapis because you guys know I've always been a fan of blue. Again, there's the beacon. Let's actually run around the house first. Show you guys the back door. We're going to entry from the front, but again, just giving you guys the full tour. I was always worried that villagers were going to, from the hills, kind of fall over into my property. So I kind of flattened it all out, put some fences up there, and so far, none of them have gotten in, which has been nice. My goal was always to put a pool back here. I could always do it eventually, but not now. Same gate. This gate is really cool because it kind of leads toward the low point in the wall. So you can actually see across from the wall. I would have loved to have put some ladders going up to the top because obviously there is a platform up there just like there is all other, like you can see this one. So it would have been cool to have like another access up there, but you know, I can do that later too if I decide to. But I think it's just fine the way it is. It's kind of a mystery place. And then, yeah, around the back, we have access to the fireplace. I love all the flowers and the flower pots and stuff. It turned out really nice. And, all right, so welcome to the Klaus Manor. You must promise me that you will not scream. If you can name that reference in the comments, that would be awesome. There is a particular movie that I'm thinking of whenever I say that. You must promise me that you will not scream. Ready? Bam. This is a little, I don't know. This is where I put all of my armor and stuff, okay? So all of my maxed out armor, if you shift click and right click, you can take it, or you can just shift click. If you actually left click it, the thorns effect hurts you. So be very careful if you guys are trying to try this out in game and like put the armor that I wore throughout this entire series on and use all my tools. Be sure you shift right click to take the items. Let me show you what happens if you left click. It actually hurts you. And your character whines. It's sad. But I made the set of redstone because it was outstanding. I wanted to, whenever people came to visit, whenever they download the world, I wanted them to have something cool to look at besides what they already knew was there, like sitting spots and fireplace, which turned out great, and a few things over there. I think the roof turned out really great. I never did put lights because I don't need to. But yeah, so if you guys want to try out my bow, which is like the best in the world, my sword, there's elytra, there's one rocket, the rest of them are in my ender chest. I'm sure you can access that if you guys download the world. Both pickaxes, regular and silk touch. There's an arrow in case you guys don't have one for the bow, so it'll actually work. It has infinity, so you don't have to worry about that. And then shovel and axe, both of them diamond, because I never bothered to get netherite like everything else. So, yeah, if you guys want to try out my stuff, there it is there. Remember, shift right click to pick it up. This is where my enchanting area ended up, even though I never used it. And just another thing, I did set my dragon egg, which is probably the coolest thing that I have, up on this redstone over here next to my personal study area. And then here's where I sleep, and of course the ender chest. And of course I've got extra elytra, I've got some fireworks, some shulker boxes from the build. I never bothered to organize it. And I've actually got a chest with some diamonds in here too, in case you guys decide to come check it out. And then right up here, literally nothing but books. Literally nothing but books, because you know, I read, I guess. So, guys, this is where I leave you off. I am the eccentric billionaire of this savannah village. If I missed anything, I'm sorry about that. Let me know in the comments if you find any Easter eggs or anything like that. Let me know in the comments as well if you guys decided to download the world. And that, my friends, is going to do it for me today in this series of Surcraft. We already ended the series, but this is the end of the world tour. And if I ever do anything else with it, I will leave a link in the description in case I decide to build something random, a one-off episode over at Death Valley or the Hallelujah Mountains. I'll let you guys know by posting it or putting it in a link in the description. But yeah, guys, the eccentric billionaire retires now. And although I can't watch a sunset here, I can definitely look over. Actually, wow, staring at a sunset as this episode ends. Oh, that's beautiful. That's perfect. Look at that. That sun's going down. And the sun sets on this series, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like this video if you liked it. If you like this series, like this video. I will be replacing this series with a new one. Maybe not immediately, but pretty soon. So definitely look forward to that. You can make sure that you catch it by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications. This was such a blast of a series. Over 100. Actually, it was exactly 100 episodes for this particular seed. And I want to mention one more thing. If you go back and watch my very first episode in this series, in this seed, which was, I think it's episode 8, you'll notice that I am clean shaven, hair completely, cut nice. And I didn't plan it this way, but I never shaved. I never got a haircut until like the last episode of this series. So if you watch through the entire series, you can see 4.5 months of progression of beard growth and hair growth up until one of the last episodes where I got a haircut. I noticed that whenever I was previewing the videos, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious. Like, you can actually, it's almost like I am surviving here without electricity, which I do use an electric shaver. So I was like, wow, it's like I am actually simulating a survival series on Minecraft by not shaving, not cutting my hair. If I had realized that, I wouldn't have cut my hair until this episode, not the finale. So anyway, didn't realize that until afterwards, but I thought that was kind of funny. Guys, that's all for me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember that I love each and every one of you, and I'm going to watch the sunset and just enjoy. Feels good to see the end of something good. Who knows? The sun might rise on a new series on this channel very, very soon. So peaceful.